Hey everyone, it is Shannon and I am here today to do my Friday Reads video. How I structure my Friday Reads videos is I share the books that I finished, the books that I started, and anything interesting about books that I'm carrying over week to week. And I do have a little bit of everything in terms of the books this week, although it was a really busy week and I didn't get that much reading done. I did still get some, so that's good too. But I did also want to just check in with a sort of life update of what's going on in the world and here and sort of how things are here. If you're not interested in that and want to get right to the books, I will leave a jump link in the description box below, because I know that not everyone wants to hear or talk. Like, you can get very overwhelmed with all of the news type stuff, but I thought I'd share what it has been like for me and what's going on here in Toronto, Ontario. And yeah, it's been a bit of a strange time, because it did sound like Ontario has flattened the curve a little bit, and it looks like we're on target or maybe even early than expected in terms of getting to the peak. That being said, it also looks like the situation for the long-term care facilities is not great, and it sounds like that's where a lot of the numbers are coming from, and our numbers are pretty, for Ontario, they are pretty high, but but on the flip side to that, in Saskatchewan, they are talking about rolling out a plan for loosening some measures and getting things back in place as of May 5th, it sounds like. And their numbers have been very low. I think their numbers are around 300 cases for the entire province. So that is extraordinary. So we, like all of Canada, will be watching how it goes when they start to change some of the measures there. I know here in Ontario, it sounds like we're on this current situation for at least May 12th. And so that is you can go out to get groceries, you can go out to get medication, and you can go out to medical appointments, but other than that, you should not be going out unless you're essential services. So that's no change in terms of what we're supposed to do, and I think we're supposed to do grocery shopping every 2 weeks if we can. For me, that actually was the big excitement, and the reason why this video is going up a bit later is that I did go out to get groceries today, and I used PC Express, which is a service where you order online and then pick up at the store. I can imagine if you have a car, this is so much easier, but if you don't drive like me, it's a bit harder. It was really hard to figure out how much I can carry. I have a cart, like a shopping cart, and I took that with me, not like a buggy, like a bundle buggy, or a granny cart. That's what I call them. So I took my cart with me, and I actually picked the exact right amount. The cart was entirely full, and then I had 2 more fragile things that I put in my backpack. But but it's hard when you're not carrying things, because normally in the store I use a basket, and when the basket gets heavy, then it's time to go to the checkout, and I know I can still carry it home. So anyway, so it was a bit of a different experience, but it went actually really well. They package it up for you, and then when you go to the store, they brought it all out for me, the sort of prepackaged, the shelf stuff, and then the fridge stuff, and then the freezer stuff, and then I was able to pack it like on my own without people around me. Like, there's people working in the store, but they just brought it to me and then let me do my thing, and so it worked out really well. I actually ended up getting almost everything. I overbought because I thought a few things would be sold out in terms of especially meat and some like produce type things. There weren't any peppers, and I'm really sad about that because I really like peppers, but generally speaking, I got all of it, so I'm pretty set for quite a while now. The one thing with the PC Express is that it did take the first window was a week later, so that's a significant period of time. But what I'm going to do is I am just going to, like, tomorrow place my next order for like a week and a half from now, and just go every 2 weeks, but just get my order in earlier than that. One thing that was really nice about it too is you can modify your order up to like 48 or 36 hours before. So I eat the same stuff. Like, I know I'm gonna need cream, and I'm gonna need coffee and sweetener, and I eat Triscuits and cheese, and I eat the same peppers. Like, I eat the same stuff. So I think it'll be, I'll just add the same things that I know, like I did in this time, and then I'll modify it for if I'm totally out of whatever, this salad dressing, and so like for me, I think it'll really, really work out, hopefully. And I was able to get most of the things this time, and there was just one thing, the peppers were not available. I also did, and this worked out so well, is my sister found out that there's a local restaurant that is converting to doing grocery delivery during this time, because they can't have people into the restaurant, but they can still get food to people. They still have suppliers and people who need food. So that was amazing. So I got green beans and Brussels sprouts and spinach and herbs and bananas and pears. I had one of the pears today. It was so good, and I've been eating the green beans, and they're so good, and it was just so nice to have fresh fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to do that as well. Like, I'm going to stock up from PC Express to do like the things that like carrots and like lettucey salad stuff, but most of my produce I think I'm going to try from this restaurant delivery, and it's a smaller area, and it's already gone from like next day delivery to like 5-day delivery. So obviously it sounds like there's a good amount of business for it, and it was contactless. They just left it on the deck and rang the doorbell and waited till I came and then took off, or like they said hi, and it worked out really, really well. So I think between the combination of those two things, then I feel so much better. And I think just when I finish when I place my order, when I pick up my order, just a couple days later, I'm going to place my next order for each of them and just keep it coming in. And because, as long as it's food and as long as it's fresh, the specifics they don't matter as much to me. And I do have a corner store. So if I run out of something in particular and I need it right away, I can go to the corner store. So I think I'm just going to rotate through those things. And it feels much more reliable than some of the bigger things like the Instacart or the Grocery Gateway, which every time I've looked, they both do delivery and they've been completely booked. I got Instacart once really, really early on, and since then it's always been completely booked. I don't know if other people are having luck with that, but I found that it's just been unavailable. Now the PC Express does take they don't tend to have windows available for pickup for like over a week, but that's okay. If you're only supposed to go every 2 weeks, and I only need to really go every 2 weeks, that's okay. I'll just pick tomorrow I'll go and just pick a day 2 weeks from now or a week and a half from now, and it should be fine. So that's what I've decided to do, and having a system made me feel so much better. I did not realize how much stress I had over not knowing what I was going to do, and not knowing how long things would take. For me now, it's just like once you get your order, put in the next one. Once you get your order, put in that, wait a couple days, put in the next one. And that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to get stuff on Amazon for shampoo and that kind of stuff. So, and books. I did actually put some books in order. So let's get to the books. The big read for this week, and I'm about halfway through. My big read is Illuminae by Amie, Kaufman, and Kristoff. Where am I? There I am. So literally, it's almost halfway. Little over halfway. I am buddy reading this with Izzy and with Sarah, and Izzy's going to do a live show on Monday to talk about it. I'm very excited about it. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is done in a different form, a bunch of documents, and so it's a really engaging read in terms of that it's different, and you have to sort of fill in the pieces of things, and you have to even decide whether or not what you're reading is the truth, and stuff. I do have a little trouble keeping all of the characters straight. Like, there's the primary characters in this that are very clear who they are, but then there's some other people in it that I have a hard time remembering who's who, or knowing if I need to know this person longer than the one scene they're in. Maybe they're only in one scene. So that's been the only challenge I've had, but other than that, it has been a very engaging, fast-paced read, and I think maybe the next time I sit down to read it, I might just burn through the rest. It's YA and it's science fiction. I haven't read a YA title in a while, and so I'm enjoying the pace and stuff like that. But for me, one of the challenges with the science fiction stuff is that I've watched a lot of science fiction, just almost all of Star Trek. I've watched all of Stargate. I've watched Farscape, Babylon 5. So which are all TV shows that have like 20 20 episodes per season, and they're up to 7 seasons each. Stargate's 10 seasons. So I have seen a lot of science fiction plots. So I don't think, and one of the things was like, I was like, oh, that's what they're gonna do? Like, that's from blankety blank blank. But I don't think that's necessarily the goal of the book, right? Especially because it's a YA title, they wouldn't expect the readers to have seen, you know, hundreds of episodes of science fiction TV, you know. And for me, honestly, I think that the pace of the book, the format of the book, and the relationships of the book feel stronger, like have a stronger pull than maybe the science fiction elements to it, or the science fiction plot lines to it. So I'm not being harsh. I hope I'm not sounding harsh on it, because I'm not. But you know, I've watched a lot of science fiction. I've read a lot of science fiction, so I feel like it would be very I shouldn't expect to be surprised at some of the science fiction elements. And I'm okay with that, which was nice, actually, because then I could just relax into the story and focus more on the characters and how the story was being told. And that's something I can be critical of, and I didn't feel critical of it here, which was really nice. I could just enjoy reading the book, which was really good. So, but I do have to get on this. This week has been a busy week with all of the management of like the food stuff and all that stuff, and some other stuff. So I've been a little remiss. I tabbed it off and like nowhere near, but it is a very fast read. So when I do get a chance to sit down, I can usually burn through 50 to 100 pages, and it's 600 pages, so there is a lot to get through. So, but I did order the next 2, so I hope the buddy reading continues, because I will be getting the books. Next up, oh yeah, okay, so another thing that's on my TBR, and I'm doing horrible for my TBR this month. Oh my god. One of the things I love looking at is how people like organize and share their TBR and their reading progress and stuff like that. I always share my reading progress on Instagram. And I love that Sarah from Steeped in Books, she always shares in her stories, she has a graphic that's a chart for the, like it's a calendar, and she puts in the amount of pages she reads in the day, and at the bottom she has, I think, her page count per day, Goodreads goal per year, and also her like TBR for the month and how far she's doing, like how she's doing, like out of, if she's read 5 of 25 books or 6 of 25 books or 20 of 25 books. And I love looking at that, and it's interesting, and it's not something I'm always aware of myself. So this month I did sort of keep it in mind. In my spreadsheet I put like how many I had read, and here we are on the 24th, and I've only read 7 of my 19 titles on my TBR, and 2 of those were actually bonuses. So I've actually read 5 of 19 plus 2 bonus books. So, or titles, not even books, titles. But that being said, one of the bonus titles was a 1-page poem, and it was the last thing I needed to read all of Shakespeare. Thank you, large truck, for that dramatic roar. So, all of Shakespeare. So I read, which one was it? I think it's called The Phoenix and Turtle. The Phoenix and Turtle. This 1-page poem was it's not even long. You know, I read it while dinner was cooking. That was it. That is the last one. I have now read all of the plays, all of the sonnets, and all of the poems. And technically that means I have read this entire book. I didn't read them all in this way. There's lots of notes in here, because I have, when I would read the plays, I would make a character list, and then I would do like a 1-line description of each of the scenes. So I started this like part of the way through reading the plays. So yeah, and I read the plays quite a while ago. Like I read them from 2015 to 2018, and then last year I realized, hey, I should just finish that off. I should just finish off Shakespeare. That's hard to say. Finish off Shakespeare. And so I started, I think, in the fall, and I read the sonnets, and I finished them this year, and then I've read the rest of the plays, and now I've read it all, and I can't quite believe it. Like, this book is like over 1,200 pages, and yeah, so it is a lot. It is a lot, and it feels like a huge accomplishment. And yesterday was actually Shakespeare's birthday, so I saw actually Crystal Marsh posted that, and that was like, okay, I'm putting dinner in and I'm reading that one last play. So I haven't read everything off my TBR this month, but I did finish all of Shakespeare, so I'm counting that as a win. I'm counting that as a win. I still can't believe I did it. It wasn't even super intentional. The plays were intentional, but then the rest of his works was a bit of an afterthought, and I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I still want to watch all of the plays. The CBC has a lot of them on their, has a lot of the Stratford productions on their app on CBC Gem, and because of COVID and because Stratford, I imagine, will have to cancel, I don't know if the whole season or what, but they have been doing watch parties, and something was on their YouTube channel streaming live as a sort of watch party thing. So that's really cool. It's weird though, because I saw the promo for it and I'm like, they're all on the website. Like there's like 12 of the Stratford productions are on the website. So anyway, I still want to watch them all, but I've read them all. I've read everything. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. And I would do it again. Like, honestly, I would read the plays again. There are so many that I loved. King Lear, the Winter's Tale, Henry IV Part 1, 2, Henry V Part 5, Richard III. I think Richard III and Macbeth and King Lear and the Winter's Tale, those are my favorite. I like the tragedies. And even the histories that I like are very tragic. So the comedies don't resonate as much for me. Although Twelfth Night was good. I like Twelfth Night. Anyway, so Shakespeare, I can't believe that I did it. One book that I actually did not read this month or this week, but I want to get back to is Making Comics by Lynda Barry. And this is a syllabus for her classes. And she gives you exercises. She's so awesome. And I haven't... so much, and I didn't get to it this week, but I did get to it last week, and I did do some drawing, so I'm going to share. This is me as an astronaut. This is me as a monster. This is me turning into a mummy. This is I think me as a bear turning into a bear. I can't believe I shared those. Now that I'm looking at them, I'm like, wow. There also was some blind contour drawing that I really enjoyed doing. This one, the skeleton, was awesome. You do it in 3 different... You start in yellow, and then red, and then blue, or the reverse maybe. Blue, and then yellow, and... I don't know, but it was awesome. So I put on some music and did those last week. So I really want to get back to it because she does give exercises throughout the book that you can do. I switched from doing the index cards to doing a notebook because I will run out of index cards, and they didn't make it onto my most recent Amazon order. So I thought doing it in a book would be better, even though it's not what's suggested. Yeah, so I want to read that. I did read another Making Comic Books, How to Draw Comics or something earlier this week on Hoopla. But I want to get back to this one. So I finished that one. I can't even remember what it was called. It was way more traditional. This is way more, oh my god, I can't believe it. The next thing is a Scribble Monster Jam. A Scribble Monster Jam. I can't wait. Here we go. Here's some of the students' work. So it's a very open form. Like, it's a very... I don't even necessarily want to say non-traditional, but it's not... I don't know, I just love the vibe of it. It's not supposed to be technically perfect. And I love drawing from life, and I love realistic drawings, but I also love... like stuff that's more freeform and more out there and like more open and interpretive, and because you engage with it, like you try to figure it out and you can see, you know, the essence of something even though it doesn't technically look like something, and that's really exciting. So yeah, so I would really like to get back to that this week. This week was a very, very busy week, and I have some stuff to do on the weekend that's also busy, but after that I think things will calm down a little bit, and so I'm not going to have any extra videos this week, unfortunately. My brain just wasn't there, but hopefully next week I'll think of something. Thank you for everyone for your suggestions last week. I really appreciated it, and I added them to my spreadsheet. I think I might actually in May maybe try to do a vlog, a reading vlog, and I know that Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, she mentioned book a day in May, which her and Elizabeth Tyree do. And hi, Lizzie. Hi, both Elizabeths. And I think they both don't go by Elizabeth. Like, Elizabeth is Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and I think Elizabeth Tyree often goes by is that right? Not sure. Anyway, the Elizabeth squared. So I might try and do book a day in May. I might do title a day in May. I tend to read a lot of titles. I don't read a lot of books. I don't read a lot of full books. Even this is a collection. Like, it's a collection, you know? And this isn't a novel. So, anyway, but I might do that. Let me know. Are you thinking about doing book a day in May? I know that Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe is trying to do 30 books in 30 days for April. She's been vlogging that, and that's been really interesting to see. I love her channel. She's really awesome. She does good Instagram game as well. So, yeah, so let me know what you guys are thinking about. I haven't even put my May TBR together. My April TBR obviously is a mess. I'm trying to clean up my shelves. Look, I cleared a spot. This is going to be my 2020 I read it shelf. There's not too much on it yet. But I did something. That felt good. Everything else feels like a mess. Anyway, that's it. This was a long one. Let me know how you're doing, and I will talk to you very soon. Thanks for watching.